Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize that this assignment is going to involve my trying to hide 3 divisions of troops behind an empty water glass.
Well, here he is, Commissioner. I found him right in the middle of a big deal, as usual.
Hello, Steve.
Commissioner?
I hope it was a square deal.
She didn't look square to me.
What have you told him so far, Ruth?
Well, only that you wanted him to go looking for a woman. I figured that was the best bait I could use.
Well, don't tell me it isn't true.
No, it's true, all right, but I'm afraid your association with this particular woman won't be a very pleasant one.
I might have known.
I'll have your passport and credentials ready when the commissioner's through with you, Steve.
Okay, Ruth. Well, what's the deal, Commissioner?
Vienna.
Vienna? Long time since I've danced the Strauss waltz.
You can leave your ballet slippers home, Steve. Here's the setup. With the situation what it is, we have to increase our armed strength on all fronts. Naturally, our consulates are kept informed as to proposed increases of strength in their respective areas.
So?
So, 2 days ago, a document containing information regarding troop movements in Europe was stolen from our consulate in Vienna. The troops have already embarked, and with these unidentified subs around, we can't take chances.
I see. Any idea who swiped the document?
Yes, a janitor named Joseph Bildner.
Well, that doesn't sound so tough. Find Bildner.
We've already found Bildner in an alley in Vienna last night, murdered.
I see. Well, that sort of puts a new light on things.
The document wasn't on his person. Just before he died, he mumbled the name Eva Loesch.
Eva Loesch? Hey, that name rings a bell.
A siren, you should say. But I haven't time to go into her background now to fill a book. Manville Olson can tell you all about her.
Who's Olson?
He's with the consulate in Vienna. You'll arrive there early tomorrow evening. Go to the Imperial Bar at 8 o'clock. Olson will be waiting for you.
Why meet in the bar? Not that I have any objection.
Now, this investigation has to be kept undercover, particularly the part about Eva Loesch. Olson will tell you why. Now, Steve, get over there. Talk to Olson. Find Eva Loesch. And most important, get those documents back. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
Dangerous Assignment will continue in a moment. Now, here is the Wheaties man, Frank Martin.
Ever think of this? You wait longer for breakfast than for any other meal of the day. From the time you go to bed until you eat breakfast is the longest period there is between 2 meals. So, breakfast has to be good to do the most good for you at a time when you really need food. Which is why I say start breakfast with Wheaties and milk and fruit. It's a pleasant way to get protein, vitamins, and minerals, and just plain whole wheat energy, in a hurry, without a lot of fuss. Wheaties supply energy when you need energy, because there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Yes, a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Sure, breakfast of champions. See for yourself. Have some. See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
Yeah. I've got my assignment. Find a girl named Eva Loesch and get a stolen document from her. Ordinarily, there's nothing I like better than to chercher la femme. But from what the commissioner has told me, I've got an uneasy feeling that this is going to be all chercher and no femme. Well, it's Friday evening when I get to Vienna. I check in at the hotel and then head for the Imperial Bar. Over at a corner table, a guy gives me the nod. I head over there.
You're Mitchell, aren't you?
Yeah. Olson?
That's right. Have a seat.
Thanks. Look, the commissioner back in the States told me that you could give me the background on this Eva Loesch.
Well, I can tell you all we know over here at the consulate, which isn't enough. Eva Loesch was a red-hot Nazi. She was killed in the Berlin Blitz.
What?
We thought. Now it looks as she's been very much alive and in hiding all this time. And worse yet, it looks like she's up to her old tricks.
You mean a new Nazi party?
No. You know, some of these ex-Nazis have a habit of selling out to the highest bidder.
I get it. Now, according to what the commissioner told me, this document concerning our troop movements was stolen from your consulate by a janitor named Bildner. He was found murdered in an alley and mumbled Eva Loesch's name just before he died.
That's right. We believe Eva killed him and has the document. But of course, we've kept all that undercover. We don't want Eva to know we know she's alive. Here. This ad I spotted in the afternoon paper. Take a look at it.
What? Will the cab driver who picked up a woman passenger at the plaza last Tuesday night at 8:30 please come to 37 Bergerstrasse? Hey, Tuesday night. That was the night that Bildner was murdered, wasn't it?
Yes, in an alley about half a block from the plaza.
This could tie in, all right. 37 Bergerstrasse. Okay. I think I'll answer that ad, Olson. I'll check with you later.
Yes?
Are you the one who put that advertisement in the paper this afternoon?
Come in. Yes, I'm the one. Why?
Fräulein,
Frau Denise Manescu. Who are you?
I'm the cab driver you're looking for.
Oh? Describe this woman you picked up.
What? Well, she's about medium build, dark hair.
You're lying.
Huh?
I do not know who you are, but you are not a cab driver.
Now, look.
Yes?
You are the one who put the notice in the paper.
Oh, great.
Why, yes.
I would like to talk to you, please.
Just a minute.
I am the cab driver in question. Who is this man?
This man is about to leave.
No, I do not think so.
What?
Oh, well, come to think of it, you may be right. How come the gun, Buster?
You will stay right here, both of you.
You are not cab drivers, either of you.
In my case, you are quite right. As for this other man, I do not know who he is. I will find that out presently.
Well, as long as we're going to play guessing games, maybe you wouldn't mind if I start guessing who you are.
You do not have to guess, my friend. I will tell you. I am Lieutenant Oscar Segal of the police.
The police?
Well, that takes a load off my mind.
Does it?
Yeah, but I can't say as much for Frau Manescu here. She seems to be real upset at the news.
Frau Manescu?
The name seems to mean something to you, Lieutenant.
You are not by any chance related to George Manescu.
Yes, I'm his wife.
But this is completely mystifying. Why would the wife of George Manescu be implicated in such an unsavory affair as this?
Somebody mind telling me who George Manescu is?
What is your interest in this matter?
Maybe these credentials will answer that question, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I see. They have indeed answered that question, Herr Mitchell.
Now, how about filling me in on this George Manescu?
Oh, a local politician of high character who has worked in close cooperation with your government here.
I see. Well, in that case, Frau Manescu...
There is no use holding back anything more. I did not want the police brought into this. But, well, here you are.
Here I am indeed. I must strongly impress upon you the wisdom of making a full explanation at this time.
Yes, But you see, Eva Loesch is my sister.
What?
I believed, as did the rest of the world, that she was dead. I believed that until Tuesday night, when she came here to see me.
What did she want?
She said she was in trouble and wanted to hide here. I refused. And then she said I must help her.
In what way?
She said that a man was killed, but that she did not do it. That there was a cab driver who could clear her if she could only find him.
So you ran that ad in the paper?
But I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't go to the police. I know what damage would be done to my husband's reputation if it were learned that the notorious Eva Loesch was his wife's sister. So I ran the advertisement, hoping it would help clear her. And then if their relationship were to be revealed later, at least it would be not quite so bad for my husband.
I see. Well, that all leads us up to the big question. Where's Eva?
I do not know.
Frau Manascu, it is my duty to warn you that withholding information...
I'm telling you the truth. I swear it. I've no idea where Eva's hiding. She said that she would contact me in a few days, but I've not heard from her.
Look, sisterly love is a wonderful thing. But I hope that you realize unless we locate Eva in a hurry, there's going to be a lot more damage done than just to your husband's reputation.
Sisterly love. You think that is what I feel for Eva? As far back as I can remember, we've hated each other. My only regret is that she was not killed in Berlin.
Then we have your promise that you will communicate with us at once if she contacts you again.
Yes, at once. But rest assured, gentlemen, it will be a happy day for me when I can turn my dear sister over to you.
Well, it sounds like quite a surprise party you ran into last night, Mitchell.
Yeah, it was, Olson. And, of course, the biggest surprise was finding out that Mrs. Manescu is Eva Loesch's sister. Incidentally, what information have you got on the Manescus?
Well, he seems to be our white hope in local politics around here right now. He's very pro-United States. As to their background, George and his wife Denise apparently were anti-Nazi right from the start, which must have made it a little tough on them in Germany.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I believe they were married just before the fall of Berlin and managed to get out of the country. Would you like to meet George Manescu, Mitchell?
Yeah, I would. Can you arrange it?
I'm playing golf with him in an hour. Why don't you come along?
It's a deal. Let's go. That last shot of yours was a honey, Mr. Manescu. Looks like you're only about 2 feet from the pin.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. But I wish you to know that from now on I believe nothing you say.
Oh?
When the three of us started this game, you were full of apologies about your bad golf. We are now approaching the 7th green, and you are 3 strokes over par.
Yes, I'm afraid Mitchell makes most of his apologies before he makes his bets.
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying to get good odds.
Indeed you cannot. Well, here we are, gentlemen. And I must say this is the part of golf I enjoy the most.
Putting?
Yes.
Well, it's the part of the game that pays off.
Perhaps it is because putting is so helpful to me.
How so, Manescu?
Well, I practice it constantly, even when I'm at home. Particularly when I'm thinking about something, putting relaxes me, helps me to think clearly. Mr. Olson, I believe you are aware. Your putt.
Oh, sorry. Downhill putt, too. That's the kind I don't like.
Well, in your case, practice sure pays off, Mr. Manescu. Your putting is very sharp.
Oh, thank you.
Too bad, Olson. Rimmed the cup on you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that gives me a 6.
Well, looks like I'm next. Little break to the right, it looks like.
Not quite as much as it looks.
Thanks for the tip.
Nice putt.
I had good advice.
Maybe you can return it sometime.
Be glad to, except I don't think you'll need any on this putt of yours. Can't be more than 2 feet.
I need this for my par.
This is a lot more pleasant way to spend time than roosting behind a desk.
Yeah, but it isn't helping us find Eva Loesch. Missed. I'm sorry, Mr. Manescu. I didn't realize you were set to putt, or I would have kept still.
Oh, that's quite all right, Mr. Mitchell. Your voice did not bother me. I don't know what went wrong.
Well, looked like you tightened up all of a sudden.
Yes. Well, it is no matter. Come, the next tee is right over there.
I'm really sorry about that, Manescu.
Oh, but I assure you, I was not even aware you were talking, Mitchell. For the life of me, I can't understand why I should miss a 2-foot putt. But that is what makes the game of golf so unpredictable, I suppose.
I think they call it the human element.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, let's see. I believe you're still up, Manescu.
Oh, yes.
You know, Steve, it seems to me that you raised your voice a little when you mentioned the name Eva Loesch.
Did I? Wait, we mustn't rattle Manescu anymore. He's ready to drive.
Oh, miserable.
Yeah, quite a slice.
I must have cut across the ball. Gentlemen, I hate to say this, but I seem to have a headache. I wonder if perhaps you would excuse me from continuing with our match.
Sure, matter of fact, I've had enough. How about you, Olson?
Sure, anytime. We can cut back towards the clubhouse through this grove of trees.
Oh, please, I don't want to spoil your game. Why don't the two of you continue?
No, it seems to be getting a little too warm for comfort anyway. Olson!
Mitchell, he's been shot right through the head.
Quick, Manescu. Let's get into that grove of trees. I think it'll be a little safer there.
But where did the shot come from?
Who knows? Here, in here. It was from a rifle, which means the sniper could be behind 100 different trees and bushes on the golf course.
But I do not understand why anyone would want to kill Olson. He had no enemies.
That's what I was thinking, Manescu, and it gives rise to a few assorted, interesting thoughts.
What do you mean?
Maybe that bullet was meant for somebody else.
Somebody else? Do you mean yourself?
Yeah, maybe me. Or maybe you, Manescu.
Steve Mitchell will continue his dangerous assignment in just a moment.
Folks, I'd like to have you meet a good friend of mine and a prominent member of a fine little organization known as the Chicago White Sox, Mr. Lucius Benjamin Appling.
Ooh, Ed, don't say it like that. Whoever heard of a ball player named Lucius? What if I went around calling you Paul Edward Prentice? Let's just make it Ed and Luke, huh?
All right, Luke. Say, just how long have you been with the White Sox?
Over 20 years, Ed. Golly, I played in darn near 2,500 games. Then at bat almost 9,000 times. Man, I'm from way back.
Well, Luke, you don't look it. How do you keep up the pace anyway?
Well, Ed, I sleep good. I eat good. I eat mighty good. Wheat is about 4 mornings a week. Those little old flakes put a lot of snap, even in an old-timer like me. Must be because they're 100% whole wheat. I sure like Wheaties and milk and fruit.
You know, Luke, that's exactly what I hear from a lot of ball players and plenty of other people, too. No wonder they call Wheaties the breakfast of champions.
Thank you, Ed Prentice and Luke Appling. And as for a breakfast of champions, friends, sure, they're for men who go to bat for a living, but confidentially, they're for us, too, you and me. We need whole wheat energy same as the champions who play ball for their paychecks. Don't forget your own breakfast of champions. Wheaties, get yours.
Now back to Dangerous Assignment and Steve Mitchell.
Mitchell, I have been expecting you.
You uncovered anything new, Lieutenant Siegel?
Indeed, I have. You told me that when you mentioned the name Eva Loesch on the golf course earlier today, Manescu reacted visibly.
That's right. I'd angled a little bait under his nose, and he snapped at it like an undernourished barracuda.
Huh.
Of course, to be fair to the guy, he probably knows that his wife is Eva's sister. It could have been that.
I am positive it was much more than that.
Oh?
I have done a considerable amount of investigation into Manescu's background, and I am sure it will be of interest to you to learn that in the old Nazi days in Germany, Manescu and Eva Loesch were, shall we say, extremely friendly.
Oh, yeah? Well, that kind of puts a different light on things.
Yeah, indeed it does. After Eva's death, Manescu married her sister Denise and made his escape from Germany with her.
And now Eva's popped up again. You know, that gives rise to an interesting possibility.
Yeah, the possibility that Manescu has been seeing Eva again and knows where she is.
Which means he either has those documents or knows where they are. Well, I've got to hand it to him for the big act he's been putting on about being such a friend of the United States.
If our suspicions of Manescu are correct, one cannot help feeling sorry for his wife, though.
Yeah. It must be a pretty rough spot for Denise if she has any idea what's going on.
Oh, excuse me, please. Lieutenant Segal speaking.
May I speak to Mr. Mitchell?
Yeah, one moment, please. For you, Mitchell. The lady in question.
Oh? Hello?
This is Denise Manescu, Mr. Mitchell. Something has come up. I must see you at once.
Okay, I'll be there in about 15 minutes. Well, it could be that Denise is starting to smell a rat, Lieutenant. I'd better get over there and see if it's the same rat I think it is. So, I head for the Manescu's house. Manescu, with a preoccupied look and a putter in his hand, lets me in the front door. Then he disappears into his study. Denise is waiting for me in the living room.
Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, sure. You said something had come up, Denise?
Yes. First, let me ask you, did you say anything to my husband when he let you in the front door?
No, he looked like he was in another world.
Yes, he seems to be worried about something. I'm afraid I know what it is.
You think maybe he's been seeing Eva Loesch lately?
Yes, I think he has.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. When my sister died, I thought that part of his life was over. It is not a very pleasant thing to realize that you have been married on the rebound, Mr. Mitchell. I told you that...
What's the matter?
Steve, there is someone on the roof of the house next door.
What?
Wait. Whoever it was saw me watching and disappeared.
Come on.
Here, we can go out through these French doors.
Nowhere in sight. Did you recognize him?
All I could see was a trench coat, a slouched hat, and a gun.
Look, you stay here. I'll circle around this house and try to climb up and nab him. I circle around the house next door, and I spot some vines running up the wall. I start climbing, but 10 feet from the ground, I hear a sound that stops me cold. I drop to the ground, run back to Manescu's house. The study window is shattered, and in front of it stands Denise, staring inside, half hysterical. Denise, what happened? Denise!
Too late. I tried to warn him.
Warn who?
Look, in the window.
Manescu, on the floor. Tell me, what happened, Denise?
After you went around to the other side of that house, the person came back to the edge of the roof.
That the door to the study?
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Oh, suddenly I knew what was going to happen. I started running to the study window to warn my husband, but then the shot.
Here we are.
George.
Bullet entered the top of his head. Must have come from the roof, all right. Wait a minute. What's that water glass doing on the floor?
But I don't know.
He must have knocked it over as he fell. Well, the man who shot him is probably a few blocks away by now.
Steve, I do not think it was a man.
What do you mean? You told me before the shot that he was wearing a trench coat and a slouch hat.
Yes, but just before the shot, I got a quick look at the face.
A woman?
I think it was my sister, Eva.
A most perplexing case, Mitchell. First, the janitor, Joseph Bildner, murdered. Second, the American, Olson, murdered. Third, George Manescu.
Murdered. But at least we know who's behind it all, Eva Loesch. So the big problem is finding her in those documents, Lieutenant. You know, there's one thing I don't get. Why is Eva hanging around town if she already has those documents?
Mitchell, have you considered the possibility that Manescu might have been shot by his wife, Denise?
Sure, I've considered it. She had a motive, too. She knew her husband had been seeing Eva, but there's just one little item that sort of knocks that theory into a cocked hat.
Yeah, unfortunately, you are right. You are referring, of course, to the angle at which the bullet entered Manescu's head.
Yeah, from the top of his head down.
Which would indicate that the bullet was fired from some distance above him. That his wife was out on the terrace at the time, slowly below him. As a matter of fact, below
All
him.
of which brings us back to our friend Eva.
Excuse me, please. Are you Lieutenant Segal of the police?
Yeah.
Then perhaps you would be good enough to tell me what this is all about.
Perhaps you would be good enough to tell me your name and what is all about.
Excuse. I'm Anton. I drive taxi cab.
So?
So today, a newspaper stands an advertisement.
Wait a minute. You mean the one about the cab driver who picked up a woman at the plaza last Tuesday night?
Yeah, you put it in?
No, go on.
I answer the ad. I go to the address. There is policeman there. And over in one corner, a woman sitting with her head in her hands, crying.
That'd be Denise.
So I tell policeman that I picked up a woman last Tuesday night.
Probably Eva Loesch.
I did not know her name. I picked her up at the plaza, and she stayed in my cab only 2 blocks. She kept looking back over her shoulder, and then she made me pull over to the curb and got out. All this I tell policeman. He takes down my address and tells me to come over here to Imperial Bar and report to you.
Very well. Thank you for your information. You may go now.
Go, he says. Still, nobody tells me what this is all about.
Well, that was a big bunch of nothing.
Mitchell, this case is giving me a headache. Murders, stolen documents, political intrigue. And every time we think we have a fresh lead, it disappears into thin air. Poof! Poof.
Hey, watch it.
Yeah, it would appear my gestures are a little too much. Waiter!
Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Look, Siegel, you knocked the glass off the table just now and it broke.
This is not a very profound observation, Mitchell.
But I found the glass lying on its side in Manescu's study after he got shot, and that glass wasn't broken. Yet the table there is about the same height as the table here.
What are you getting at?
Manescu's glass wasn't knocked off the table. It was placed on the floor.
So?
So we've been a couple of prize jugheads.
I still do not understand what...
The whole thing has just fallen into place, Lieutenant. There's just one big thing wrong right now.
What do you mean?
I mean, we could be just about 5 minutes too late.
Mitchell, there's the cab driver's house just ahead.
Okay, let's stop here, Lieutenant. We'll circle around to the back of the house. He probably keeps his cab there.
Mitchell, I still do not understand why this taxi cab is suddenly so important to us.
Look, remember what that cab driver said? When he picked up Eva after she'd killed that janitor, she only stayed in his cab a few minutes, then got out.
Yeah, she hid the documents there. That is why she had Denise put that ad in the paper. She wanted to find that taxi cab driver.
That's right. Wait. Yeah, there's the cab in that little lean-to back of the house. Okay, let's take it as quiet as we can now.
Mitchell, a flashlight. Someone is in that cab.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. Come on.
Oh?
Found those documents yet?
Denise Manescu.
No, Eva Loesch, Lieutenant. It's one and the same person.
What?
No, that's a lie.
Save it, Eva. The real Denise got killed in the Berlin Blitz, didn't she?
No.
You figured it'd be a neat scheme if people thought it was you who were killed. You posed as Denise, married Manescu, and got out of town.
Lies. All of them lies.
I guess Manescu was the right guy after all. He probably figured you'd reformed when he found out that you hadn't. You were afraid he'd expose you. You tried for him once on the golf course and got Olson instead. Then you rigged this little scheme for my benefit at your house this afternoon and killed him.
Mitchell, watch out.
Yeah, I see the gun. Your aim isn't as hot as it was, Eva. Drop it. That's better. And thanks for giving us the one piece of evidence we needed, this gun of yours. 5 will get you 10. We can prove that the slug that killed your husband came from this gun.
I will kill you.
Temper.
Mitchell.
Yeah?
This is all very nice, but there's one thing that we may have difficulty in proving.
What's that?
The angle of elevation of the bullet that killed Manescu.
That's right.
How could it have been fired by Eva here, who was standing on the ground outside the window?
You
That
see?
brings us back to the empty water glass, which was lying on its side on the floor in Manescu's study. I should have figured it sooner.
Figured what?
Look, when Manescu let me in the front door, he had a putter in his hand. He'd already told me that he practiced putting at home whenever he had a problem. And along about then, he had a big problem. What to do about Eva.
Putting?
Yeah. How do you go about putting a golf ball, Lieutenant?
Why, one takes the club in his hand, bends over the ball, and...
You can stop right there. That's what Manescu was doing. That's why the bullet entered the top of his head. Right, Eva?
I have nothing to say.
You don't have to. You know, you never want to underestimate anybody's golf game, Eva. You probably thought your husband's putting practice was a big joke. Well, maybe you were right. Yeah, I guess you could call it a joke. A real funny one. It'll kill you.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize that this assignment's going to end up with my having to decide whom to hand my gun to, the guy who's trying to help me or the guy who's trying to kill me. Morning, Commissioner.
Steve, have a seat.
Thanks.
Ruth,
Yes, Commissioner.
Steve's here. How are you doing with this plane reservation?
All set. And tell him I've even got a bottle of mosquito lotion for him.
Mosquito lotion? Sounds like I'm going to get stung in more ways than one. Where are you sending me?
Africa.
Oh, great.
Steve, you know how vitally important Africa is to most of the world as a source of raw materials. Well, we have positive evidence that certain interests have sent a man to Africa to conduct a hate campaign against us with the tribal witch doctors.
Witch doctors? Now, look.
Sure, it sounds fantastic, but unfortunately it's true. And you know how much influence those witch doctors have with their tribes. If they ever form into a block against us, the entire position of the United Nations in Africa will be in serious jeopardy. And most of the vital raw materials we get from there will be cut down to a trickle.
Mm-hmm. Who is this visiting fireman who's stirring up the trouble?
We don't know his name, but according to our information, 2 British agents have caught up with him and have him in their custody. At present, they're somewhere in the interior, heading for the Gold Coast.
You want me to meet them there?
Yes, at the port of Secondi. Your plane will get you there the day after tomorrow. Now, Steve, it's vital to us to find out all we can about the organization behind this man. We're depending on you to get the whole setup out of him.
Lucky me, right in the middle again.
When you get to the port of Secondi on the Gold Coast, go to the Black Ivory Bar. You'll be contacted there. Now, Steve, get over there, talk to this man, and get enough information on his organization so we can smash it to pieces. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
Dangerous Assignment will continue in a moment. Now, here is the Wheaties man, Frank Martin.
Begin a great day with Wheaties. Yes, if you've got a morning full of work tomorrow, get a breakfast full of Wheaties. Stride through the morning high, wide, and handsome with Breakfast of Champions. Begin a better breakfast with Wheaties and milk and fruit, and see if it doesn't make a difference. See if you don't work better, work easier, and finish feeling fine with Wheaties to help. Because, listen, there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. A whole golden kernel rolled out flat and toasted. Yes, there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. That's why Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. Whole wheat energy Wheaties have for you. Whole wheat vitamins and minerals, protein too. No wonder they can help make a difference. You try it. Try it tomorrow. See for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
That's the nice thing about my job. The commissioner always tries to make it sound so easy. All I have to do is drop over to Africa and talk to a guy who's been stirring up trouble among the witch doctors. Sounds like a cinch. But I've got an uneasy hunch that before it's over, some of those witch doctors will be stirring up plenty of trouble for me. It's Wednesday night when I get to Secondi on the Gold Coast, and I head for the Black Ivory Bar. It's almost deserted. But down at one end, a girl raises her eyes at me briefly over her glass. But this is working hours, so I slide onto a stool at the other end of the bar, and pretty soon a fat little gent eases up to me.
I have been expecting you, Mitchell.
Oh? Who are you?
Ralph DeGidio, the one who was to contact you with. Come.
Where to?
To a deserted warehouse at the waterfront. The 2 British agents are holding the man you seek there.
Oh, why all this hocus pocus?
This whole thing must be, how you say, undercover. The prisoner has many friends who would like very much to know where he's being held.
Okay. Well, how do we get there? I don't feel like walking much in this heat.
But this is but a short distance.
Hello.
Oh, hi. You decided you liked this end of the bar better, huh?
I decided maybe you'd buy me a drink.
Sorry, I already have a date.
You could do better, you know.
I don't doubt it, but this is business.
Suit yourself. All work and no play, you know.
Friendly little town, isn't it, DeGidio?
Indeed.
Well, come on, let's go. Hey, how much further is this place, DeGidio?
See the small building we're approaching at the end of the pier?
I don't see any lights in it, though.
But of course not. The windows have been boarded up. Here we are. The door is around this corner. Come.
There's no door here.
No, indeed, Mitchell.
Yeah, I kind of figured this could be a trap. Drop the knife.
One more inch and you will be...
Drop it before I break your arm. That's better. Now, you and I are going to have a little talk. He brings his knee up into my stomach, and I jackknife. By the time I get my wind back, he's halfway down the pier. There's an old freighter tied up, swaying in and out with the tide, and just as he gets opposite, his foot catches on a coil of rope. He loses his balance and falls between the pier and the end of the ship. Oh, brother.
Too bad.
What? Oh, the girl in the bar.
The girl in the bar, otherwise known as Alice.
Well, thanks for that warning you gave me in the bar, Alice.
I'm glad it registered, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah. The look you sent my way when you told me I could do better than DeGidio sort of started me wondering if he was the right guy. So I was ready for him when he tried to spring the trap on me.
If you got my message, why did you leave it?
Well, I figured I could get a little information out of him, but by the look of him down there, he's not going to do much talking. Look, where's this guy I'm supposed to talk to, the one the two British agents are bringing in?
I'm afraid that's going to be up to you to find out, Mr. Mitchell.
What? I thought it was all set up.
You're right. It was all set up. But they've run into trouble. And it looks like you're going to have to go into the jungle after them.
Oh, great. What happened to them?
Lieutenant Ted Vance can tell you that. He's waiting for you now at headquarters.
Who's Lieutenant Vance?
In charge of the local police. Come along. I'll take you to him.
Well, Mitchell, looks like you're in for a bit of hoop-de-doo.
What's the setup, Lieutenant?
Well, as you know, two chaps from our intelligence picked up this blighter in the interior and were bringing him down here to Secondi. Well, this afternoon, their native guide staggered in here, more dead than alive. He lasted just long enough to tell us that their party had been attacked in the jungle.
By natives?
No, although it could have been, the way that blighter has the witch doctor stirred up. No, the party was attacked by some, let us say, friends of this chap.
I see.
According to the guide, one of our agents was killed and the native bearers ran away. That leaves our other agent Withers somewhere in the jungle with his prisoner. His friends are probably scouring the area for him right now. That's why there's a bit of a hurry-up necessary. Now, if you'll look at this map here.
Righto.
Here's the area where the attack took place. It's about a day-and-a-half hike from here through some thoroughly nasty country.
And you think Withers and his prisoner is somewhere between here and there, heading this way?
No, I don't. I think Withers realizes his chances of making it alone with his prisoner are pretty slim. I think he's holed up in that same area waiting for help.
I see. That's a lot of jungle there. What do I use to find them? Radar?
Well, before their guide left to come here for help, he told Withers the best place to hide. Now, you see this bend in the river, the little point of land that sticks out there?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a natural vantage point and a lot of natural concealment there. With luck, you may find Withers and his prisoner at that bend of the river.
Yeah, with luck. Well, I better get started right away. How many men can you give me?
Well, that's the embarrassing part, old boy.
What do you mean?
I'm undermanned here as it is, and with the threat of uprisings, I've been ordered to keep every available man ready for action here.
Oh, this is sounding peachier by the moment. So I'm supposed to sally forth into the jungle alone?
Well, not quite. I can give you a native guide.
Gee, thanks.
I'm sorry. Orders are orders.
Yeah. Hey, look, I've got an idea. How about lending me a few of your men just for a few hours?
Lending you? I don't quite follow you, old boy.
Look, I wouldn't have much chance in that jungle alone against those 4 rescuers, but if they weren't in the area, then it wouldn't be so bad.
Oh, I see. You want my men to draw them off in another direction.
That's right. We could all start out together, and then at the right point, my guide and I could get lost. The rest of the party would keep going in another direction. The rescuers might follow them. That would give me a little more time. At least it's a chance.
Yes. Well, we'll do it. I'll get 3 of my men, and I'll give you the best guide I've got, a chap named Mungo. We'll start in an hour.
It wouldn't take a very sharp knife to cut this heat, Vance.
Quite.
And I can't say I care for these mosquitoes.
Your aim is terrific, old man. But these little fellows are nothing. Wait until you run into the kind that try to lift you off the ground.
Swell.
We're coming to the river. This is the jumping-off point, Mitchell. Off!
Well, at least we've made enough noise for those 4 guys to be following us, if they're in this area at all.
Yes. The rest of us will keep straight on along the river for 2 hours. Then we'll start a wide circle back toward Secondi. Mungo!
Yes, Buona.
Take your orders from Buona Mitchell. Guide him to the bend in the river.
Yes, Buona.
We'll stay under cover here until we're sure the coast is clear. Then we'll ford the river and go up along the other bank.
Right. Well, cheerio, Mitchell.
Yeah, pip, pip, and all that.
Come along, men.
Here. We'll roost under these bushes on the riverbank for a few minutes. There we are. This ought to do.
Buona.
Yeah.
I hear footsteps.
Where?
Listen.
Yeah, coming along the trail.
See, there they are.
Yeah, the rescue party. Brother, 6 of them. That's even worse than we figured. They're following Vance's party, all right. Good. By the time they realize they're on a wild goose chase, I hope we'll be heading back with Willard as a prisoner. Okay, Mongo, let's go.
We can cross the river here, Juana. It will not come above our hips.
Lead the way. And kindly avoid all crocodiles and snakes. How long you figure it'll take us to get to that bend in the river, Mongo?
Oh, we'll not get there before morning, Juana.
Oh, well, it's getting too dark to go any farther tonight.
Yes, I'd better camp here for night.
Okay.
We stay in these bushes.
Yeah, looks like as good a spot as any. Okay, put our gear here and wait a minute. Hey, what's that?
Drums of tribe.
What tribe? Friendly, I hope.
Not friendly drums. Death drums.
Oh, great. Probably one of the tribes this guy I'm after's been stirring up. Where are they coming from, can you tell?
No can tell. Sometimes near, sometimes far. No can tell.
Yeah, well, needless to say, they'll probably keep it up all night, too.
Pongo hope so.
What do you mean you hope so?
When drums go, is not bad. When drums stop, is bad.
Yeah, well, they can stop any time as far as I'm concerned. We better figure out a watch schedule.
Mongo watch first.
Okay. Call me in a couple of hours. Try sitting in the jungle at night, listening to a few assorted animals and tribal drums, knowing there are 6 armed men gunning for you. It's great for the nerves. But at least I've got Mongo, and knowing he's out there on watch is a big help. Finally, I get drowsy enough to doze off. Suddenly I snap out of it. At first I think it's a noise that wakes me up, and then I realize it's the lack of noise. The drums have stopped. There's not a sound. The whole jungle is quiet. Too quiet. Mongo, I head for the scream. It's bright moonlight now, but there's no sign of Mongo. Then I round the tree trunk, and there he is. He's lying on his back, and his throat has been cut from ear to ear.
Steve Mitchell will continue his dangerous assignment in just a moment.
Well, sir, I'm all for it. I'm all for you waking up to Breakfast of Champions. Wheaties Milk Fruit. It's a combination to help you breeze through your morning's work with pep left over. It's Wheaties, the crisp way to get your whole wheat. Because, yes, there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Got it? There's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. No wonder it's Wheaties for folks with big things to do and places to go. No wonder Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. You try them. Get vitamins and minerals for stamina and vitality. Get them in Wheaties. Get protein. Get it in Wheaties. Get energy, whole wheat energy. Get it in Wheaties. Yes, tomorrow morning, shake out a bowl full of the crisp flakes, the golden flakes, Wheaties flakes. Pour on the milk, put on the raspberries or the bananas or whatever you like at your house, and then dig right in and know you're getting up-and-coming nourishment for an up-and-coming morning. There's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Sure, Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. You try it. Breakfast of Champions. Breakfast for you.
Now, back to Dangerous Assignment and Steve Mitchell.
So, Mongo's lying in front of me dead, and I'm on my own. Who killed him? Hostile natives or the rescue party? Suddenly I realize I'm making a pretty good target of myself standing in the moonlight. I dive for the bushes just in time. There's my answer. The natives don't carry rifles. That means the rescue party has figured out advances in my decoy scheme, and they're back on my trail again. I head for the river and wade upstream a couple of hours. I don't want to leave a trail for them if I can help it. Dawn comes and I climb out of the water. The bend in the river is just a couple of 100 yards ahead of me. I wait a few minutes, but no sign of anyone following me. Maybe I've given them the slip. Now my big problem is finding Withers and his prisoner. But it turns out to be no problem at all. I get to the bend of the river, and there are 2 guys in torn clothes fighting on the riverbank in front of me.
Hey, stop that fight!
What? You heard me, both of you. Cut it out. That's better. Now get your hands up in the air, both of you.
I'll see here, old man.
Oh, shut up and do as I tell you, unless you'd like me to let a little daylight into you.
Oh, very well, but you're making a mistake.
You let me decide that, what? Well, you must be the two guys I'm looking for. Okay, which one of you is Withers?
I am.
Well, now, look.
I'm Withers.
You're lying. I'm Withers.
I tell you, I'm
Shut up.
Withers.
So you're both Withers, huh?
No, he's lying.
Well, it ought to be easy enough to prove one way or another. Withers is a British agent, and they always have identification papers. You say you're Withers. Let me see your papers.
Why, yes, certainly. Why, well, that's strange. I don't seem to have them. Now, wait. This other man stole them from me.
I did not. Those papers are mine.
Okay, Buster, suppose you show them to me.
Of course,
So you don't have them either.
They must have fallen into the river during the fight.
Oh, sure. Now, look. For the time being, I'm going to call you guys Pat and Mike for the lack of anything better. Now, you're Pat.
I say Mitchell. I don't mind being called Pat, but my real name is Withers, and I think this is all pretty silly.
So, you know my name, huh?
Well, of course. You're Steve Mitchell, and you're supposed to meet me and my prisoner here.
I see.
You don't see Mitchell. This bloke heard me and my partner mention your name before his friends jumped us.
That's not true. I heard it.
Look, save it, both of you. Mike.
I gather that's the name you've selected for me.
That's right.
Well, that's your privilege, of course, but I prefer my own name, Withers.
Yeah, but you're Mike for the time being. Hold it.
What's the matter?
Listen.
I don't hear anything.
That's the point. Those birds stopped screeching all of a sudden. Yeah, someone coming. Okay, drop to the ground in those bushes, both of you. Now freeze. The first one of you lets a peep. Gets a hole in his head.
But, Mitchell...
Shut up. Yeah, the rescue boys. Quiet. Nice try, Pat, but it didn't work.
What do you mean?
Breaking that twig to try and attract their attention.
Well, that was an accident.
Was it?
But of course
That
I
was
wouldn't do
no
anything.
accident. He did it deliberately. Those men out there in the brush are his fellow agents.
That's a lie.
Keep your voices down, both of you. Come on, we're getting out of here.
Just a minute, Mitchell. We can clear this up right now. This chap claims it's me. Very well. Let me ask him a question.
Okay.
You claim your name is Withers, old boy. That you're a British agent. All right. Who's your superior officer?
Major Summersby in London.
Huh. Sorry. Your information is a little obsolete. Summersby was promoted 3 weeks ago. Major Holcomb's in charge.
Well, Pat.
Why, I've been out of touch with the Home Office for some time, but I can...
No, quite.
All right. Two can play at that game, my friend. Oh, you say you're Withers. What's your wife's name?
Helen.
It's Edith.
Now, see...
You see here, both of you. This is no time to be sitting around the jungle playing guessing games. Look, one of you is Withers, a British agent. The other one is an agent for another outfit, and he's been stirring up trouble with the witch doctors. Now, whichever one of you that is, has got friends beating the bush for him. Well, right now, we're heading for the coast before those friends catch up with us.
That's a good idea, Mitchell.
And get this through your heads. Right now, I don't know which one of you is which, but sooner or later, I'll figure it out. And in the meantime, I'm not taking any chances. The first one of you tries anything gets his head blown off. You got that straight? Okay, get moving. So the three of us start heading down the river for the coast, with me playing a little game of who's who in my mind and getting nowhere. Night comes and we camp by the river. The drums start in again, which doesn't help my peace of mind any. The three of us sit there eyeing each other like hungry vultures. I sit there holding a gun on them, fighting sleep. Mike finally rolls over and dozes off. Right now, I'd give my eye teeth to do likewise.
It's been a pretty rough go for you, Mitchell.
Save the sympathy act, Pat.
Oh, no, I mean it. Pretty rough on a chap beating his way through these jungles without any rest.
Yeah, rest. Oh, brother, could I do with about 12 hours of sack time?
Yeah, nothing like sleep.
You said it. Sleep. Aye.
Mitchell?
Mitchell, watch out!
What? Get back, Pat! Back!
Very well.
I just wanted to see if I was comfortable, I suppose. Well, that was too close for comfort. Come on, both of you. You're going to sit back to back against this tree with your arms around it, and it's going to tie you that way. Now, come on over here, Pat.
I guess you know who's who now, Mitchell.
I'm beginning to get the idea, Mike. Thanks for warning me.
I think this is a lot of foolishness.
I thought you would. Sit down here. Okay, stick your hands out behind you, both of you. There. Now, a couple of turns of rope, and I think you'll both stay put a while.
Listen.
Yeah. No drums. The last time they stopped, a guy got himself killed.
What was that?
I don't know. Sounds like it came from over near the river. I better have a look. I ease over towards the river. Nothing in sight. I start to turn, but just then, a guy drops out of a tree on top of me. He's got not a native either. I knock him off. Then I spot his gun, but too late. Blood creases my leg. He aims again, but this time I beat him to it. He slumps over. Then I spot another guy slithering through the brush with a rifle pointing in my direction. I limp back to Pat and Mike as fast as I can.
Mitchell, what happened?
It's bleeding.
Sure is. Come on, I'm untying you.
But who were they?
Oh, a couple of scouts from the rescue party. We gotta get out of here fast and quiet. Okay, come on, get moving.
Look, Mitchell, can't we rest a bit? Been walking all night.
Guess we'd better stop.
Well, that's the best news yet.
It's not good news to me, gents.
What do you mean?
Climbing up to the top of this plateau took what little strength I had left in my leg.
Oh, so now we have to carry you, I suppose.
Wait a minute. Look, down there, the rescue party. They're just starting up the plateau. Great. So they picked up our trail after all.
Well, what now, General?
It took us an hour to climb it. It won't take them that long. It's still about 3 hours to the coast. The way I'm limping, it won't take them long to catch up with us. Well, looks like I've got to make a decision.
What do you mean?
I've got to decide which one of you is with us and give my gun to him so he can get to the coast with the other guy.
What about you?
Well, I'll try and find a place to hide until help gets back to me. Okay, I think I know which one of you is which. Pat?
Well, congratulations, Mitchell.
Mitchell, are you crazy?
As I started to say, Pat, you're the wrong guy.
What? No.
Well, you had me worried for a moment. Mitchell!
Pat, stop or I'll drill you. Come back here. That's better. Okay, Mike. There are 3 slugs left in this gun. One's for Pat if he gives you any trouble on the way to the coast. Here's the gun.
Thanks, Mitchell. And congratulations. You picked the wrong man. Yes, you're not quite as clever as you thought, Mitchell. I must say you're very obliging, turning your gun over to me.
I must say you put us in a bit of a pickle, Mitchell.
Maybe not such a pickle, Pat. You see, Mike, I had you pegged as the wrong guy right from the start.
Of course. That's why you gave me the gun. Sorry, but your bluff won't work. Stand back, Mitchell. No, wait. I want you to be nice and close. There, that's fine.
Close enough?
Close enough. You said there are 3 slugs in this gun. One's for Pat, one to spare, and one for you in the stomach. Takes longer that way. So long, Mr. Mitchell. What? Empty!
Sure is, Buster.
You did have it figured out.
That's right.
Let go of me!
With pleasure.
Ah!
Well, you just put back the 10 years of my life you took away a minute ago, Mitchell. When you started to give that gun to Mike there, I knew my only chance was to make a run for it.
Yeah?
You know, there's one thing I'm curious about.
What's that?
This bloke was so clever with his answers, I began to find myself wondering whether I really was with us. How did you find out about him?
Want to know a little secret? I didn't.
What?
Right up until the time I handed him that gun, I didn't have the slightest idea which of you was which.
But you told him you'd figured it out.
Sure, these guys operate a lot on bluff, so I thought I'd toss one back at him. So let him think I'm smarter than he was. What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
All right, old boy. I can assure you I'll be the last chap in the world to put him straight about it. I say, we're still not out of trouble. That rescue party's gaining on us.
Yeah, we better get going.
Your leg, man. You can't walk fast enough.
I know. That's where our friend Mike here comes in. Come on, let's bring him around.
Mike? I don't understand.
Oh, I've got a special deal lined up for Mike. He'll love it, I'm sure. He gets to carry me piggyback. Come on, let's saddle them up and get out of here.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize it's going to involve my trying to hold Western Europe together with 2 mirrors, a book of matches, and a rusty razor blade. Morning, Commissioner. Ruth said you wanted to see me.
I do, Steve. You're flying to Paris. But don't get any ideas.
Well, I can dream, can't I?
I'm afraid this dream's going to turn into a nightmare.
Oh, swell. What's the deal?
Tell me, what do you know about Aristide Reynal, Steve?
Reynal? Oh, sure. The Swiss Sherlock Holmes. A sleuth of the old school, complete with a derby hat, umbrella, and false faces. But a very right guy, even if he is left-handed. And also one of the sharpest little detectives in the world.
That's right, but I see you don't know the latest about him.
What's that?
Last night in Paris, Aristide Reynal was murdered.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I really liked the little guy. Who did it?
We think it was our old friend Lupac, Steve.
Lupac? Is he still on the loose?
More than ever. Now, Steve, I don't have to tell you about Lupac. He's a hired killer and the cleverest man we've ever had in our hair. I'll tell you how clever he is. He's been operating 5 years that we know of. We're fairly sure he's implicated in at least a half dozen assassinations, and yet no one even has a description of him.
Yeah, I know that. Look, Commissioner, Aristide Reynal was a sort of a friend of mine, but I don't think you'd be sending me over to Paris to find Lupac for that reason.
No, there's a lot more to it than friendship, Steve. You see, representatives of several European nations have been trying to hold top-secret conversations in Paris for the last week.
What do you mean they've been trying?
Every time they schedule a meeting, one of the representatives meets with a fatal accident, and I don't mean accident.
I see.
We think Lupac is responsible for those murders, that he's been hired to hamstring those negotiations. Now, Steve, they're going to try to meet again next Monday. Lupac's got to be caught before then. Get over to Paris, work with Inspector Murat of the Sûreté, and find Lupac. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
Dangerous Assignment will continue in a moment. Now, here is the Wheaties man, Frank Martin.
Say, friends, are you celebrating proper? It's National Wheaties Week, you know. National meaning everybody coast to coast. Wheaties meaning the whole wheat flakes with a wholehearted energy. And week meaning 7 big days for you and me to buy 'em, try 'em, and tell the neighbors. I'm eating 'em. My family's eating 'em. How about you and yours? Get Wheaties yourself and get with America. Come on, it's National Wheaties Week.
That's what I like about my job. The commissioner's always so nice to me. He gives me a whole weekend in Paris, and all I have to do is find a killer nobody's ever lived to describe. I should be so lucky. Well, it's Friday when I get to Paris. I go to the headquarters of the French Sûreté, and Inspector Murat is waiting for me.
Mitchell, all of us here at the Sûreté feel we have lost an honored colleague in Monsieur Aristide Reynal.
What facts can you give me about Reynal's murder, Inspector?
Unfortunately, very few. We know only that Reynal's body was discovered yesterday morning in the apartment of a man named Belog.
Belog? Who's he?
We have no idea, Mitchell. This Belog has dropped completely out of sight.
Do you have any description of him?
We have managed to piece together a slight description by questioning the other tenants. Belog is a small man, dark, with a mustache and a Van Dyke beard. He customarily wears horn-rimmed glasses and a beret.
Great. That description could fit 1,000 guys in Paris.
True.
You know, there's a little idea pecking at my brain, Murat.
I should not be surprised if it were the same idea that occurred to me, Mitchell. Namely, that this mysterious Monsieur Belog might be the hired killer we seek, Lupac.
Yeah. You got a key to this Belog's apartment, Commissioner?
Yes, we have left everything untouched for the time being.
Good. Come on. I'd like to take a look at it.
As you can see, it is quite a simple apartment.
Yeah, pretty bare. You spot any items of interest here?
A rusty razor blade in the bathroom.
Oh, well, let's take a look. Yeah. And some whiskers in the wash bowl.
It is possible that Baylog, after the killing, decided to shave off his mustache and beard.
So now we're looking for a little man with horn-rimmed glasses, with or without mustache and beard. You know, we're getting less to go on by the minute. Funny?
Indeed. I do not see any humor in it.
No. I mean, this guy Baylog must have been a pretty vain gent.
How do you mean?
He's got 2 mirrors in here.
Oui, I noticed that.
One of them here over the wash bowl on the left side of the room in the corner, and another one in the middle of the wall.
Perhaps he needed more light.
There's as much light here as there is there.
You are right. It is strange.
Well, anything else, Inspector?
There on the table in front of you.
This matchbook?
Yes. Note that there are but 2 matches remaining on the right side.
Right now, I'm more interested in noting the name on the cover. Hugo's. What's that?
A small restaurant on the Boulevard de Clichy.
Well, when you don't know where to start, I guess one place is as good as any other, Inspector. Besides, I'm hungry anyway. I'll see you later. So I head for Hugo's, and of course every other guy I see on the way there answers Baylog's general description, which gives me a good idea what a sweet job it's going to be finding him. Inside the restaurant, a mournful-looking little gent is circulating from table to table, sawing away at a fiddle for the benefit of a few moonstruck couples. Then a tall, skinny gent spots me standing in the doorway and comes up to me.
Welcome to Hugo's, monsieur.
Are you the official greeter?
I am Hugo.
Oh, good. I'd like to talk to you. Where can we sit?
Why, at this table right here. But if you are selling anything, I am not in the market. Business, it stinks.
Don't worry, I'm not selling anything.
Oh, my friend, I now have much warmer feeling toward you. In that case, I would like to sell you something. A dinner fit for royalty.
Later, but right now I'd like a little information. Did you ever hear the name Baylog before?
Baylog? Baylog?
What are you doing, memorizing it?
Oh, but of course, Baylog, a steady customer, noble soul. At least he was.
Was what? A noble soul or a steady customer?
In Hugo's mind, there is no difference, my friend. But to be brief, I have not seen Monsieur Baylog in here for the last few days.
I don't wonder. But before that, he used to come in regularly, huh?
Now you're making me slightly uncomfortable, monsieur.
Mitchell. Why?
Mitchell. Very simple. When inquiries are made about my steady customers, sometimes makes them very nervous. Then they become unsteady customers. And then Hugo's nerves become unsteady because it means he is losing money.
I get it. You think $5 American would steady your nerves, Hugo?
Would be interesting experiment. Place the bill in my hands.
Here you are.
Uh-huh. The experiment worked? See, my fingers, they are not quivering one bit.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? Now, about filling me in on this guy Baylog.
Of course. He came in here regularly, usually in company of another man.
What did this other man look like?
Oh, he was small, about Baylog size. Very inconspicuous-looking man. Let me see. I believe he usually wore a derby hat and carried umbrella with him.
Derby hat, umbrella? Hey, wait a minute. Look, here, take a look at this picture. This isn't the guy by any chance, is it?
But, of course, the very man.
And you say that he and Baylog were in here together all the time?
Yes. You know the man in this picture?
I knew him. His name was Aristide Renal.
Well, the two of them seem quite friendly.
I don't get it unless...
Don't get what, my friend?
I'll skip it. Well, thanks for the information, Hugo.
Oh, but there is more.
Huh?
Indeed. Let us say that you have paid only for the main course of the dinner. There remains dessert.
You know, I don't see why you bother serving food in this place. You seem to do pretty well without it.
One must live, my friend.
Okay, steady fingers. Here's another 5 spot. Now, how about the dessert?
You see, over that corner table, alone.
The girl?
Who else?
Well, you said dessert, and you weren't kidding. French pastry yet. Who is she?
Celeste. Shall we say, friend of Baylog's?
That gives me 3 good reasons for talking to her.
3? What are the other 2?
Her eyes, of course. Oh, I'll see you later, Hugo. Hi.
Hello.
Mind if I join you?
Why not?
Good question.
I am drinking Pernod in case you want to buy me another drink.
Sounds like an open and shut in case. Waiter, Pernod and scotch.
Oui, monsieur.
You're a friend of Baylog's, aren't you?
Why?
You seen him lately?
Why?
Your needle is stuck. I owe him some money.
Give it to me. I will give it to him.
No, thanks. Not that I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. I'd rather give it to him myself, Celeste.
Suit yourself. I have not seen him lately.
I see. Did you ever hear him use any other name beside Lebuck?
Other name?
Lupac, for instance.
For instance, no. But why do we talk about Baylog? He bores me. I know something much more interesting to talk about.
What's that?
Celeste and,
Steve.
Celeste and Steve. Sounds nice.
Yeah. Might be an interesting topic of conversation at that. Where do you think it would lead us?
Maybe to 36th Rue Sedan.
What's there?
My place.
Oh, well...
Here are your drinks, monsieur. Scotch and Pernod.
You're a little late, Buster. We're leaving. There you are.
Merci, monsieur. But the drinks, what shall I do with them?
Well, you might... No, just drink them. Come on, Celeste. We drive up and stop at her place and start in. Then I catch a glimpse of a figure standing in the shadows of the alley across the street. Could be Baylog, alias Lupac. Celeste promises to wait, goes inside, and I walk down to the end of the block. Then I cross over and circle around that block. I came up the alley behind the guy, but when I get into the alley, there's enough light to tell me that no one else is in there. I come out across the street from Celeste's apartment, and still no one in sight. I start to turn for another look back down the alley, but just then an arm swings down out of the doorway beside me, and something awfully hard connects over my right ear. Knocks me to the ground. I fight to get up on my hands and knees, but just as I do, I get it again. I grab for the legs in front of my bleary eyes, but this guy must be enjoying it. The third time is the charm. Out I go.
Steve Mitchell will continue his dangerous assignment in just a moment. It's National Wheaties Week.
Hello, this is Frank Martin, the family man. Yes, sir, a family man with a wife and a son and a home like yours. Pretty much like the man around your house, I'll bet. I wake up hungry, and I do mean hungry. But my wife, bless her heart, has a cure for that. She has Wheaties ready with bananas sliced and the cream right handy. You know, that sure is a wonderful way to treat a man. So why don't you try it on yours during National Wheaties Week? If he's anything like me, he'll go for those Wheaties. Yes, and they can help keep him going, too. There's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Not bad, huh? A whole kernel. So I'm asking you to try Wheaties once during National Wheaties Week, won't you? Try 'em.
And now, back to Dangerous Assignment and Steve Mitchell.
Mitchell!
Oh.
Mitchell!
What? Oh, Inspector Murat.
Oh, you are not so bad off after all.
Don't take any bets on that.
Oh, I'm glad.
Brother, my head. What happened anyway?
Oh, well, one of my patrolmen heard a commotion. He saw a man dragging you into this alley. The man fled. When the patrolman saw your identification papers, he called me, and here I am.
Looks like I was about to get taken for the well-known ride.
Who hit you?
I wish I knew. Could have been Baylog. Hey, that reminds me. Come on, Inspector. We should have a talk with Celeste. No answer.
She may have gone. On the other hand, she may be hiding in there.
You got a pass key?
Oui.
Let's find out.
Very well. Here it is.
Now watch it. Baylog may be inside, too.
That possibility has also occurred to me.
I'll get the lights. Empty. You know, there's something that bothers me about this whole setup.
What is it?
That's the trouble. I can't put my finger on it. It's like listening to a pretty little tune and hearing a discord every now and then. Like, for instance, Hugo told me that Baylog and Aristide Renal were regular customers at his restaurant and that they seemed very friendly.
Monsieur Renal was what we might call a detective of the old school. I am sure the idea of assuming another identity and befriending Baylog would have appealed to him.
Yeah, like I say, that could be it. And if that was the only discord, I wouldn't pay any attention to it.
There are others?
Just little ones, like why the two mirrors in Baylog's bathroom?
You think there is a significance there?
Right now I'm having trouble thinking at all with this lump on my head. Look, I'm going back to Hugo's and see if he can give me any more leads on Celeste. I'll check with you later at headquarters.
Ah, good evening, Monsieur Mitchell.
Hello, Hugo. Hey, looks like you're doing quite a business.
No, these are not customers. They are would-be waiters. Waiters. Today I need a waiter. I put in paper advertisement, and they pour in a flood. Oh, but I do not think that you come back here to talk about waiters. Did you find your friend Baylock?
No, I can't even find Celeste.
No.
Hey, there's $10 in it for you if you let me know the next time she drops in here.
$10?
$10. Is it a deal?
My friend, for that I will not only let you know, I will have her here waiting for you in chains.
Mitchell, were you able to find out anything more at Hugo's?
Only that he's having employment troubles.
Tell me, are you still hearing little discords in this tune we are listening to?
Yes, I am. I'm beginning to think that the discords could add up to a whole new tune.
Pas anymore. Hello? Oui? What? Hello, Keiko. Very well. The trail is warming up, Mitchell.
How so?
At your suggestion, I have had one of my men watching Celeste's apartment. He reports that a man answering Baylog's general description just went inside.
Okay. Well, that sort of knocks my new tune into a cocked hat. Come on, let's go. Better stop here, Inspector. Celeste's apartment is just ahead.
Oui.
There's a small open car parked up there in front of the apartment house.
Yes, that is the car the suspect arrived in, according to the report my man gave me.
Look, here he comes out the door.
He's getting into the car. Mitchell, we must not let him escape.
Hold it. Doesn't look like he's going anywhere. He's just sitting in the car. Huh. He's a little guy, all right. And Hugo said Baylog was a little guy.
He is not wearing glasses, however, and he is clean-shaven.
Don't forget those whiskers in Baylog's wash basin. He could have shaved his beard off.
What are you going to do?
Have a little talk with him. I'll be back in a minute.
Be very careful, Mitchell.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, what is it?
Have you got a match?
Why, of course. Here.
Thanks. Say, I wonder if you could help me.
Help you?
Yeah. I'm a tourist here, and I need a little information.
Oh, I'm rather in a hurry, and...
Well, this won't take a minute. Here. This is a timetable for the Underground Railway, but I can't seem to figure out where the nearest station is.
Oh, very well. Excuse me. I must put on my glasses. So, now let me see it. Oui, your nearest station is just off the Boulevard de Montparnasse.
How do I get there?
Let me see. You go down this street, 2 blocks, then over 1, and then you turn...
No, not so fast. Look, here's a piece of paper. Would you write it down for me?
Oh, certainly.
Sorry to put you to the trouble.
Oh, it is quite all right. Here you are.
Thank you very much.
Well?
I don't know. Could be Baylog, all right. He had to put on glasses to read the timetable.
In that case, perhaps we... Mitchell, look!
Yeah, Celeste just jumped into his car. Come on, Murat, get this baby started. We don't want to lose him now. So, for the next 30 minutes, we chased them down a dozen assorted side streets and alleys, but we can't seem to gain on them. Finally, we spot the car pulled up in front of a 4-story warehouse. Neither the little guy nor Celeste is in the car. We pull up behind it.
They must be somewhere in that building, Mitchell.
Yeah, but where? This is a lot of building, looks like.
One of us had better go to the rear entrance, the other take the front.
Okay, you, Murat, get back!
Mon Dieu.
Brother. Yeah. This is the guy we were chasing, all right, or what's left of him.
No identification on him, but that does not surprise me. Well, Mitchell, the case is closed. Our little friend, Baylog, realized he was cornered. He preferred to administer justice to himself.
Did he?
I know what you are thinking, that perhaps he was pushed off the building. Well, perhaps he was. It is no matter. Either way, it would appear our case is closed.
Yeah, you're right. That's just the way it would appear.
Monsieur Mitchell, international cooperation is a wonderful thing, and it has been a privilege to work with you in this affair. But I must say, I am becoming increasingly annoyed at your present attitude.
Sorry.
It is true we have identified the body as that of Harold Pravda, an unemployed waiter. But to me, this means nothing. If Baylog was Lupak, as we believe him to be, he was quite capable of assuming a dozen different identities.
I know all that, Inspector.
But I tell you, the whole thing fits into place. Observe. First, we know that Aristide Reynal was on the trail of the notorious Lupak. Second, Reynal is murdered in the apartment of a mysterious little man named Baylog. Third, we know that Celeste is a friend of Baylog's.
Fourth, we chase Celeste and a little guy to a warehouse. The little guy takes a diver, gets pushed off the roof.
Exactamo. And furthermore, this little guy, as you call him, answers Baylog's description, even to the horn-rimmed glasses which he put on to write directions for you when you approach.
Hey, hold it right there.
What?
You just said something, Inspector. I remember now. That little guy wrote out the directions for me right-handed.
Is this so unusual?
It's unusual enough to take us back to Baylog's apartment right now.
Baylog's apartment? But surely if Baylog is dead...
Baylog is dead, all right, but if my hunch is good, there's something a lot more important than Baylog in his apartment.
But what could it be?
The answer to this whole deal. Inspector, one of the things you showed me when we were here in Baylog's apartment before was this matchbook on the table.
But of course, that led us to Hugo's restaurant.
Yeah, and that's all I was paying attention to at the time. I should have paid more attention to the fact that the remaining matches were on the right-hand side of the book. That means the person who was using those matches was left-handed.
Grant, he picked off the matches with his left hand.
Aristide Reynal was left-handed.
Of course he was, Mitchell. We both know that. But what does that prove? We believe that Reynal was posing as a friend of Baylog's. They ate dinner together. Reynal obviously visited this apartment. As a matter of fact, this is where his body was discovered, if you will remember.
Yeah, Reynal was left-handed. He probably used those matches. Now, come on into the bathroom.
Very well.
Now, this is the part I couldn't figure out before, Murat, but it sure makes sense now, the two mirrors.
But I still do not see...
Look, the regular mirror is over the washbowl right here in the left-hand corner of the room.
True.
Now, pretend you're Baylog and you're going to shave, and also pretend you're left-handed.
Well, all right. I would simply take a razor in my left hand and then... Mitchell.
Yeah, that's right, Inspector. There's not enough room between the mirror and the wall on the left side for a left-handed man to shave.
Yes.
You'd probably cut your nose off.
That is why Baylog set up the other mirror farther along the wall.
Yeah. Inspector, doesn't it strike you as a pretty big coincidence that both Reynal and Baylog happen to be left-handed?
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that Reynal and Baylog were one and the same man.
What? But that is impossible.
Is it? Look, we know Reynal liked to adopt various disguises. I think he grew a beard, rented this apartment under the name of Baylog, and went after Lupak. Then, when things got too warm, he shaved off his beard, but it was too late. Lupak killed him, and his body was correctly identified as Reynal.
But Hugo himself told us he had seen Reynal and Baylog dining together frequently in his restaurant.
That's the point, Inspector. That means that...
That means that Hugo was lying.
Wait.
Hello, Hugo. I figured you'd be pretty close on our trail at this point.
I had to be sure you were convinced that the little man who, shall we say, fell off the roof was Baylog. Unfortunately, you are not convinced, that's all.
Then Hugo is Lupak.
That's about the way it adds up.
I have that honor indeed. Inspector, the hand away from the pocket, please. I admit there are more artistic ways of killing than with this gun of mine, but I am a practical man. I always suit the weapon to the occasion.
You were pretty smart in this deal, weren't you, Hugo?
Up to a point.
When you found out that we believed there was a guy named Baylog and that he'd killed Reynal, you decided to keep the story alive. You even went so far as to hire a little waiter who might pass for Baylog. You made a deal with him to take us on a chase through town. Then you shoved him off the building, hoping that would close the case and take the heat off of you.
Stay where you are. Oh, it did not work. However, you are the only two who know it did not work. And you can be easily disposed of. Mitchell, stay where you are.
Don't worry, Hugo. I'm not getting any closer to you. I'm just walking sideways.
Stop.
You know, Hugo, for the first time in your life, you're going to have to make a choice.
I said stop.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Up to this point in your illustrious career, you've always been told who to kill. Now you've got to choose, me or Murat.
I shall kill both of you.
Oh, no. We're on opposite sides of the room now, and you're right in the middle. Whichever one you shoot, the other's going to jump you, and you won't have time to get us both. So, which one of us it is going to be, Hugo? Hugo licks his lips, jerking his head first towards me and then Murat. My plan is working. I'm almost to the light switch. Hugo takes another quick look at Murat, and I grab the switch and drop to the floor. I I know Murat's got his gun out by now, like I have, but I also know Hugo's too smart to stay in one spot. I listen. No sound. I've got to figure out a way to trap him. Then I think of the small shaving mirror on the bathroom wall. I'm about 2 feet from the door. I ease into the bathroom flat on my stomach and get the mirror. Then I prop it up against the inside of the door so it'll reflect from behind the door out into the living room. I get behind the door and stick my gun through the crack. Then I take my cigarette lighter, reach back behind me, and light it. He takes a shot at the reflection, and I've got his location pegged. Murat!
I am all right, Mitchell.
Okay, I got the right guy then. Get the lights.
Oh, indeed, you did get the right man, Mitchell.
He's still alive, but I don't think for very long.
Your mirror device was most effective.
Well, I guess it was pretty fitting, Inspector. That mirror was what tipped us off to the whole deal anyway.
It would appear the old superstition about breaking a mirror is true.
No, you're wrong there, Inspector. This proves that superstition is all wet.
How do you mean?
Well, breaking a mirror is supposed to bring 7 years bad luck, isn't it?
Well, yes, I guess it is.
So it sure isn't true for Hugo anyway. He should live that long.